Kleschka picks, week number 13, everybody. Let's get started with the Thursday game, Cowboys and Saints. Both of these teams won last week on Thanksgiving. Yeah, it was Thanksgiving Thursday. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. The Saints, they easily won over the Falcons. They were the night game. And the afternoon game was the Cowboys and the Redskins. The Cowboys looked very impressive. Amari Cooper showed up and put on a show. He went absolutely nuts with yards. He had 2 touchdowns, and it's not like Dak Prescott was throwing those touchdowns. I mean, he did, obviously, but he hit Amari Cooper, and then Amari Cooper did the work from there. He accelerated past the Redskins defense to get those scores. That was all him, if you ask me. But the Cowboys, ever since they got him, they have been clicking. Their offense looks better. The whole team looks better. It takes pressure off of Ezekiel Elliott, and I'm sure he loves that, and he gets to continue to be the great running back he is. Now, these are 2 great football teams going against each other, 2 historic football teams. However, I think the Saints have a better offense than the Cowboys, and I think that's going to prove that they can get the victory. So I think the Saints are going to beat the Cowboys 30-24. The Panthers and the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers got a win over the 49ers. Jameis Winston, when he first came back to play quarterback this year, he didn't look so hot, but now I think he's starting to get back into the groove and he's starting to get used to things once again, and that's just good for them going forward, but I don't think it's going to mean anything this year. And then we have the Panthers, who lost to my Seahawks, baby. That was a great win. It's really going to help us if we're going to make it to the playoffs. Beating them is going to be huge if it counts and it comes down to that. Anyways, the Panthers, like I said, they lost. However, I think they're the better team over the Buccaneers. They're more athletic. Cam Newton is a great athletic quarterback. Christian McCaffrey can do everything. He can catch passes. He can run the ball. He can do it all. And then the receivers are athletic, young, learning, but they are very good, and I'm sure they're going to improve into the future and the rest of this season. Then you have a veteran leader in tight end, Greg Olsen, and I think the Panthers are the better team, so I think they're going to get the win 34-27. The Bears and the Giants gave up a victory they should have had, if you ask me. From what I saw, they were leading the entire game. It felt like they had it locked up, and then they just gave it away to the Eagles. Well, they didn't give it away, but they came back. Eagles came back and got the victory over the Giants. And then the Bears, they were the morning game on Thanksgiving, and they won with a pick 6 that sealed things, and then to ultimately seal things and end it for the Lions, who they beat. They got another pick in the end zone to make sure they got that victory. However, I think the Bears are very good defensively. Their offense is doing the job. That's all you got to do your job. And then when the defense is stepping up like it is, it's a very scary combination. So I think the Bears are going to win 27-13. The Bills and the Dolphins. Dolphins lost to the Colts. Bills got to win over the Jaguars. And the Jaguars, with how they've been playing lately, so that wasn't very impressive. But hey, a win's a win. And I think the Dolphins are going to beat the Bills this week. I think the Bills just got, a lucky win with how, not lucky, but with the way the Jaguars have been playing. I mean, it's not that hard to beat the Jaguars, I feel like. Do you think the Dr. Films Sunday morning football teams could beat the Jaguars? Maybe, I don't know, if Blake Bortles is quarterback. But anyways, I think the Dolphins are going to have a good win for themselves this week. I think they're going to beat the Bills 23-20. Jaguars and Colts. I didn't mention this before, but Blake Bortles has been benched. He is not playing quarterback for the Jaguars. That is how bad it has been for them lately. Then the Colts, it has been great for them lately. They got a win streak going. Their offensive line has been doing amazing, which allows Andrew Luck to be amazing. Hit his receivers, get those touchdowns, those yards, and everything they're doing with offense is just a perfect unit, so everybody is succeeding. And I think with the way the Jaguars have been playing, which I said has been bad, losing streak and all, and I just think the Colts have it so much better right now, so I think the Colts are going to win 33-14. The Browns and the Texans. Texans won on Monday Night Football. Lamar Miller made history. He had a 97-yard touchdown run. You know who the last person to do that was? Lamar Miller had a 97-yard touchdown run against the Jets when he was on the Dolphins. Then the Browns, they beat the Bengals. Baker Mayfield showed up and he was dangerous. He had 4 touchdown passes. He looked good. The Browns' future is looking good. I think they finally found themselves a quarterback who can get them wins going the rest of this year and into the future. So I think even though Baker Mayfield has been dangerous, like he's been saying, and even though he didn't hug Hugh Jackson, how bad did he feel? Just kidding. I mean, I wouldn't really want to show sympathy towards a coach that went to my rival team in the first place anyways. So I think the Texans, they have been clicking so good. Good win streak for them going right now. Their defense is solid with J.J. Watt, Jadeveon Clowney, Jonathan Joseph, and then Deshaun Watson playing very good like he did last season. Lamar Miller is finally becoming a running back that everybody wants to watch. He's playing so good. He's getting long runs. Ignoring the 97-yard run, he's had big runs in the last like 4 games. That's when he started to like catch people's attention, be like, whoa, Lamar Miller, like this guy can actually be a running back and play good at the position. So I think that the Texans are going to win 31-20. Packers and Cardinals. Packers lost to the Vikings. It has not been the Packers year. They are going downhill. I've heard there's been arguments between Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers, but I don't know if that's for sure. I've just heard rumors. Now, we know the Packers can play great. We know Aaron Rodgers can be elite, and I don't think he's going to lose to a team like the Cardinals. The teams he's been losing to are teams that have respect from fans all over, from other players all over. And don't get me wrong, there's players on the Cardinals who people respect. Josh Rosen, I'm sure will be good going forward for the Cardinals. David Johnson is a hell of a running back. And I just think Aaron Rodgers, he's determined right now. And if we can go back a couple years and go back to his speech, I guess, relax, R-E-L-A-X. Even though it's going to be a lot tougher for the Packers this time, I think he'll be able to beat the Cardinals, and I think the Packers are going to win 27-17. Rams and the Lions. Lions lost to the Bears on Thanksgiving. Rams were on a bye week. But the last time we saw the Rams play, they had an amazing game against the Chiefs. There were so many points scored in that game. That game was probably one of the most entertaining games I have ever watched. Probably the most entertaining game of my life. And some of you can probably say the same. I bet a lot of you would say the same. And the Rams are just so dominant. The Lions, I do not see them beating the Rams. If it is, it'll be one of the craziest upsets this season. However, Todd Gurley, he was a little hobbled, it looked like, in that game against the Chiefs. Nothing bad, but I think with a week of rest and just the dominant offense that the Rams have, I think they will easily beat the Lions 41-16. Broncos and Bengals. Bengals have lost Andy Dalton for the entire season. And even if they did have him, I don't think they were going to playoffs. I just didn't see it for them. And then we have the Broncos, who have surprised me in the last 2 weeks. They got that win over the Chargers, an upset, and then the win over the Steelers, another upset. The Broncos have to be having mile-high confidence right now. You know what I mean? They're mile-high stadium. They definitely have it, because those are 2 tough teams to beat this year. And the fact that they did, I applaud them for that. And I totally was down on them for most of the year, but they've looked impressive. Phillip Lindsay has been a great find for the Broncos. And I think they're easily going to beat the Bengals, because the Bengals, without Andy Dalton, they got to go to their backup, and it's just another struggle for them to deal with. AJ Green is out. So it's just tough for the Bengals right now. The Broncos, like I said, they got that mile-high confidence going for them. So I think they will get the win over the Bengals, 24-13. Ravens and Falcons. Falcons lost to the Saints, but the Falcons threw that game away. They turned it over so many times. They got close so many times, and they just never finished. They easily could have kept up with the Saints, but they kept messing up, and they just kept screwing themselves over. And then we have Baltimore, who just easily beat the Raiders. However, this week, I think it's going to be close between these 2 teams. Even though I feel like Baltimore might just blow them out with the way Atlanta's been playing. I think Atlanta is a little frustrated. I think they're going to get things kind of back on the track, but I don't think they're going to completely do it, because I think the Ravens are going to win. The Ravens have good defense. Their offense has been good with Lamar Jackson ever since they decided to put him in, and I think they're going to barely get the win over the Falcons this week, 27-24. Jets and Titans. Jets lost to the Patriots. Titans lost to the Texans. Titans started off pretty good, but the whole rest of the game, after they started off looking good, they did not look good at all. It's just like their offense disappeared all of a sudden, and they forgot. And I mean, they had that 1 touchdown late to Corey Davis, but I mean, it just didn't look the same throughout the whole game. Texans just kept pounding and pounding and pounding, and that's why they won and the Titans lost. Anyways, the Jets, you know, they are playing like the Jets, and they look like they had hope at the beginning of the season. I'm not seeing it anymore. I think that the Titans will get the win this week, 20-13. Chiefs and Raiders. Raiders don't really have any much hope for them going. They lost to the Ravens last week, but the Chiefs have tons of hope for them. Patrick Mahomes looking like the MVP for this year. Kareem Hunt and Tyreek Hill are playing amazing for him. So yeah, the Chiefs have a well-rounded talented offense, and everyone on that offense is doing amazing. And I didn't even say Travis Kelce just then. I totally forgot about him, and he's a great tight end. And you don't hear his name this season because Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes, and Kareem Hunt are just balling out. And I think they're easily going to beat the Raiders. The Chiefs are easily going to beat the Raiders 34-19. My Seahawks against the 49ers, our rival. Man, I cannot stand the 49ers, especially when Richard Sherman is on the 49ers now. It is still so weird. Anyways, the Seahawks, we beat the Panthers last week. I stepped over them. Allen Iverson, that was one of the funniest touchdown celebrations I've seen. The Seahawks have been like the kings of touchdown celebrations this year. I gotta say, if there's an award for that somewhere on some program at the end of the season, how could it not be the Seahawks? I mean, they did the surfboard thing, they had the coordinated dance, they've done baseball celebrations, getting the hit by pitch, one is like, oh, against Doug Baldwin. Then you have the AI step over. Oh, it's just, they've been so good at it, and I think they have tons of confidence. The Seahawks love, no matter who's on this team, no matter who's leading this team, they seem to step up against the teams they need to beat. We beat the Panthers. That was definitely a game we needed to win, and we just step up in the big moments. I always feel like that. We have a past against the 49ers doing things like that, stepping up in the moments. And even though I think we're way better, not way better, but I think we're the better football team when it's us and the 49ers this year, I think we're easily going to get the win, 34-17. The Vikings and the Patriots. Vikings have tons of confidence beating the Packers last week. They're looking good for a wild card maybe because, you know, they got the Bears at the top of their division. And then the Patriots, you know, they're the Patriots. If Tom Brady's quarterback, it's just like, hey, I throw touchdowns and I win football games. Anyways, I think we're going to see an upset this week. I am calling an upset. The Vikings, they looked really good last week. Adam Thielen did good. Stephon Diggs did good. Dalvin Cook finally did good. His first touchdown of the year. So I think the Vikings, I think they're going to be actually making this a close game against the Patriots. The Patriots have not been the totally dominant Patriots that we've seen in the past years. The Titans beat the Patriots. The Jets actually had them neck to neck last week until, you know, the Patriots just pulled ahead. But it was pretty close in the beginning of the game. They did not get separation for a while. Anyways, I think we're going to see an upset from the Vikings. I think they will win 27-23. The Chargers and the Steelers. The Steelers, oh, they threw that game away last week. Big Ben throwing a pick right in the red zone when they could have had it. And that just cost them the game, basically. That defensive lineman just stepped back and boom, interception, seal it for the Broncos. And then we have the Chargers, who got to win against the Cardinals, and they've been playing really good this season. They still have a chance to take the division from the Chiefs, but you know, both these teams, Chargers and Chiefs, are both going to play hot till the end of the season with the players they have. However, the Chargers lost Melvin Gordon. He got injured. And even though he's got great receivers and veteran Antonio Gates, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to get some vengeance against the Chargers. I think they're going to come and they're going to beat them up and take out their anger from last week's loss on the Chargers. It's going to be a good game if you ask me. It could go either way, but I feel like the Steelers have the better weapons. Antonio Brown, Juju Smith, James Conner stepping up huge for this team. I think the Steelers win 30-24. Finally, the Eagles and the Redskins. Eagles came back against the Giants. The Giants blew that game. The Eagles got the victory and got out of there. Anyways, the Redskins lost on Thanksgiving to the Cowboys. The Cowboys just absolutely dominated them. But I think the Eagles, I think they're starting to look a little better. It's definitely not last year's Eagles, but I think they have enough talent to beat an injured Redskins team because Alex Smith, no longer the quarterback, he is out with a broken leg. So I think the Eagles will beat the Redskins 24-20. Alright everybody, thank you for watching week 13 of Kleschka Picks. My record, by the way, is 109-65. So yeah, I've created some separation from the wins and losses. Like the video, subscribe. I will see you next time in week 14.